Hi you two. Check out that guy. I hope you've been having fun with your book week things too. But it's time for our handwriting warm-up. So, interlace your fingers and then interlace them the opposite sort of way. So you'll see I went this way first and then I changed to that way, the way I wouldn't usually do. Stretch them up to the ceiling or the sky, depending on where you are. And let's draw a big circle. Drop your head back, come right round. Big circle again. I'm letting my belly move. I'm letting my hips move to make a big circle. And now I'm going to go the other way. Give yourself a shake and you're ready to write. Let's get stuck into our warm-up row, which today will be a question mark. A question mark is just like a tall letter, so we're going to use this part of our lines. We're going to begin like we would say for a letter S or C in the middle, in between the solid and the dotted line, except we're going to curve the opposite way, around and then down to finish in the middle of those next two lines. And the dot goes down the bottom, almost like half a love heart. So start in the middle, curve up, swoosh down, and a dot at the bottom. Nice rounded top, straighter bottom, and a dot. Keep going all the way to the end of the line. Our first letter today is the letter I. Now you'll know that your lowercase I is a body letter. Change that colour. So we stay in between our two dotted lines and finish with our dot in the middle again. Our capital I, very similar, begins at the top, comes straight down, slight slope, and that's it. Now you might see sometimes that an I has a line at the top and the bottom, and in New South Wales foundation font, those lines are optional. So if you'd like to use them, you can, but you don't have to. So your options again are straight line down, or straight line down and then come back, cross the top, cross the bottom. You can choose. Now, because you've got a choice here, I'm going to do a couple of each, but you just do the one that you like the best. So I'm going to start just by practicing my good sloping letter I's, going from the top straight down to the bottom. Remember, all of our letters start at the top, go to the bottom. And I'm checking in, making sure that they're not too squished up or too spaced out. Now I'm about halfway, so now I'm going to swap and leave a bit more space to try some with the horizontal lines top and bottom. So vertical line first, horizontal horizontal. Keep going to the end of the line. The next letter we're focusing on is the letter U. Let's revise our lowercase u, which is a body letter. Comes down to the bottom line, up on a little diagonal, and then straight back down again. And some important features of that lowercase u are a slight point there, not super round, so that you've got room for a wedge shape in here. Now a capital U is exactly the same, just tall. So we're starting up on the top solid line, coming down, having a little curve back right up to the top, and that straight line comes back down again. I can see mine was a little bit wobbly there. Might try it again. There we go, and up, straight back down. Now sometimes you might just see that a capital U looks like this, and everyone will know exactly what letter you're talking about if you do that one. But in New South Wales, this is the version that we do. So let's get going. Start on that top line, straight down to the bottom dots, curving up to the top line, and a straight line down to the bottom, and follow it with exactly the same shape for our lowercase u. Now you might be like me and find that lowercase u is a little bit easier just because it's smaller. Something that can help with that is to let your pen or pencil go a little bit more quickly over the page so you get a smoother line. Keep going to the end of the row. And our last letter for the day, the letter P. Let's revise our lowercase p, which we know starts on the top dotted line, heads straight down, pencil follows back up as we go around to finish. Now our capital P looks the same, but it does have one important difference. See if you can spot it. Well, other than that it's tall. So I'm going to start with my downstroke and then finish off my circle. Did you notice? Lowercase p has a wedge shape in here, but the capital P has a really neat join, and that's because I lift my pencil. So I start with my downstroke, I lift my pencil off the page, I come back up to where I started and go around. Let's try some on the next page. So let's begin with that capital P. Think about your slope on your way down. Lift your pencil back to the start to make the circle at the top. Lowercase p, remember our pencil is going to stay on the whole way. Trying again. Capital P, lift the pencil. Lowercase p, pencil on the page. Off you go. We're going to do a bit of a different sentence this week, and that's because we have a very important letter on this page. Now, you'll remember in some of our last videos for capitals that we talked about how capitals are used for proper nouns. And I bet that you've used the letter or word I in place of your name. I'm going to the shops. I have a hat. And so when you use I instead of your name, you need to give it a capital because it's taking the place of a proper noun. We always capitalise the personal pronoun I. Let's write that sentence now. I'm going to start with a capital letter because it's the start of a sentence. And I might just make a slightly different colour so it's easy to see. Start with that capital W and a lowercase e for we. Always. We always capitalise. That might be a new word for you. It just means that we give it a capital. Capitalise. We always capitalise the THE, personal. Personal just means that it's to do with yourself. Pronoun. Pronouns are words that we use when we're using them in place of a name, like he or she. We always capitalise the personal pronoun I. Full stop. What a good thing to remember. If you are using I in your writing and you're using it by itself in place of your name, give it a capital. Now let's not forget our self-corrections. So grab yourself a different colour and let's give a tick to the things that we like the best. I actually think I did quite well with some of my question marks up the top, so I'm going to give one of those a little tick. Not quite as happy with my capital U's. I don't feel like it's something I practice as often, but maybe this one in the middle is okay. I do prefer my I's without the top and bottom. And I do think I did a really nice job on my sentence, so I'm going to tick at the end of that row to show that I liked the whole thing. Give yours a tick now, especially where you've used good slope, good spacing, good size, and your letters are looking the same shape. Thanks again to everyone who is doing our handwriting videos, be you at home or at school or somewhere else. You're doing great. Today for our guided drawing, we're going to do Philip the perfect pet, a little puppy. Make sure you've got plenty of space and begin with your capital P. That's going to make the head of your pup. Next, draw a horizontal line straight off the end of your loop, then come down to the bottom to sort of match that up. Now next I'm going to think about his paws. So I'm going to come down to the bottom of my letter P, do a little paw, and you'll see that I haven't quite come back to the start there. That's because now my bottom line is going along there, and I do that same loop shape again to make my 2 paws. Let's move on to his face. Now you'll notice because of the shape of his body he looks quite a lot like a little Scotty dog, so I'm going to give him 2 pointy ears like a Scotty dog would have, and I hope he doesn't look too much like a cat. I'm going to give him some eyes at the front there for my cartoon pup, a nice nose and a big smile. For his tail I'm going to do a triangle. When you're ready, try one yourself. You might even like to make him a little friend.